Ladies and gentlemen, a question on the minds of many here at the Schneider Electric Innovation Summit 2021 is how will digital technology create a more sustainable, self-reliant and resilient India? And what challenges will this country face in making that transition seamless? Well, it's a set of complex questions and they deserve to be approached from a 360-degree perspective. And fortunately, I'm joined by a highly distinguished panel of domain experts to help me do just that. With that, I welcome you to the exclusive CEO Roundtable here at the Schneider Electric Innovation Summit 2021. Please allow me to introduce our guests.
Managing Director Amul, R.S. Sodhi. Managing Director Medanta Hospital, Dr. Naresh Trehan. Managing Director Hero Electric, Naveen Munjal. Managing Director and CEO Schneider Electric India, Anil Chaudhary. Dr. Trehan, let me start with you.
As you're well aware, in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak, the demand for hospital services has experienced an astronomical surge. And hospitals are now expected to be safe across all touch points, highly people-centric, and incredibly efficient. What role has digitization played in this whole equation?
Look at the experience we had with the pandemic, where a lot of people who got the COVID had to be admitted. The services had to be reoriented in all the hospitals very quickly. And we were the first hospital to get the 14 Italian patients who were detected in Rajasthan. And our doctors, our paramedical workers, our frontline workers, all of them, I must say, responded very quickly. Learned what had to be done to take care of them because it was it is a highly infectious problem, and then to protect everybody and still make them work 24 hours a day and take care of these patients inside those PPEs with masks, with goggles. It was quite a thing that people reoriented themselves so nicely and so with such enthusiasm, in the sense determination. On the other hand, what happened was that the people who have the regular problems, people get heart attacks, people get cancer, people get other ailments, gallbladder problems. They are the ones who first got very scared to be exposed to a hospital. Rightfully so, because they thought that if they go in, they'll also catch the infection. But what we had done, we had actually repurposed our whole system in a way. Fortunately, in Medanta, the way it was designed is that there are two mirror towers. One reflects the other, completely same services, so that we actually were able to, once the lockdown came off, we were able to take care of patients safely by isolating the two towers completely. So one was for COVID specialized treatments, and the other was to take care of the rest of the population because they were also suffering. So that repurposing helped a lot in the sense that technology came to our rescue. Everything was started, what could be done remotely, started being done remotely. So there was a whole reorientation, although what was happening was that we had moved towards digital health. In our plans, the medical profession was believing that as we move forward, we will serve our patients better in the minor situations where they don't have to travel so far, even deliver a lot of services at home remotely. With the broadband being established around the country, that was a dream that we were going to do it as in the times to come. But that all got compressed very quickly. And what we did was, to give you just a numerical example, if we were getting 100 video consults a day before the pandemic, during the pandemic, we were doing 600-700 a day. 6-7 times. So people were reaching out. They learned how to connect quickly, and a lot of these services, or I would say, relief was given remotely. So the whole thing is that it has served a purpose which would be very beneficial in doing remote consultations. In addition to that, a lot of new devices have come up because this is also a need. If they were under development, but they have been accelerated now to say many things you can do at home. You can do an ECG from home, you can do blood pressure from home, you can measure blood sugars. So there are, and as we move forward, more and more modalities are coming up, so that in the follow-up visits also, if somebody has to be followed up, you can do it remotely. So there has been a marriage of, you can say, IT, technology, and innovation.
Naveen, I'd love to bring you in now. And Hero Electric is, of course, a market leader and a pioneer in the domestic electric two-wheeler market. And the company subscribes to the mission, no emission. How does this mantra essentially factor into your own manufacturing practices? Tell us a bit more about how you prioritize sustainability within the four walls of your organization.
We are great believers. I mean, that's something that I've believed in right from the beginning, that we have to leave the world a better place than what we found it. Now, in that case, what we've been doing is our buildings, everything, everything that we do has to be about the environmental impact and how we are protecting the environment. This office, for example, that we are shooting this in, is a platinum grade building. So we don't allow any plastics inside. We discourage the use of plastics. We discourage the use of plastic bottles. We use glass bottles rather than that. Plus the paper that we're, how much of printing that we're doing, etc., etc. So there are numerous factors that we look into while we are even operating on a day-to-day basis. The manufacturing facilities, I would like them to be completely green facilities. We have, even in our manufacturing facility, we have a lot of plantation of trees, for example, there, just to get in that fresh air. So we try and use technology where possible. We try and use older methods where possible to make sure that we are following to the T. We are trying not to emit anything from ourselves in terms of whether it's manufacturing facilities, it's offices, or anywhere else. Even at my home, for that perspective, we've got solar panels and we've got a STB plant. So even the water that is thrown out is actually not thrown out. It is recycled and used to water the plants and the gardens, etc. So this is something which, not just at a work level, but even at a personal level, I'm a great believer in it, and I try and follow that to the T.
RS, I'll bring you in now. And the contribution of the food and beverage industry to the domestic manufacturing GDP is skyrocketing, and it currently stands at upwards of 12%. That said, what role do the fourth industrial revolution and the digital transformation movement play in empowering, enabling, and fostering growth at Amul?
Well, Pooja ji, food contribution to GDP is directly proportional to the increase in income of average Indian. Because the first thing anybody would like to spend as income increase is the food, and today it is around 20-22% of the total. If I talk about total Indian food industry, so as far as Indian food industry is concerned, it is around $50 billion or 4.5 lakh crore. Okay, and fortunately, or keeping in mind the future growth, only 10% is organized. So around 5 lakh crore is only the organized side. And it is growing at the rate of 10-12%, not only all the food, even dairy, poultry, fishes. The reason is simple now, people want to upgrade themselves to more of protein and fat rich diet and packed and branded. So naturally demand is also increasing and supply chain is also improving, cold chain is also improving. So which is all are the positive factor for increase in the market of the food industry.
Anil, coming to you now. Schneider Electric's mission is, of course, to become a digital partner for sustainability and efficiency. So how is this company delivering on that promise when it comes to various markets and India?
Thanks for asking, Pooja, for this question, which is very, very important for Schneider Electric. As you know, sustainability is the heart of everything what we are doing. We play on both sides of the equation. One is how do we make our operations pan-India and globally sustainable across 100 countries where we work. And the other side, we are making sure that how we provide technology to our customers to make their operations sustainable. And when we look at Schneider, we are 132,000 employees worldwide, operation in 100 countries. And this is where, taking into account the large impact which we can make, we have made a commitment to achieve carbon neutrality in our operations by 2025. which means allowing offsets, and net zero CO2 operations by 2030 in our operations with no offsets. That's the commitment, and that's the way we are now operating on. And when we talk in terms of the other side, that's all about how we are making our customers make most of their energy and make sustainable operation. We are providing them EcoStruxure IoT-based enabled technology to manage their operations to be much more energy efficient. And the way we are looking at it, that how with whatever the energy equation you have today, how you can create an efficiency of close to about 30 to 50% in your operation using our technologies, using our solutions, and using our products. And that's how we approach both in our commitments for our operation and making our customers make most of their energy so that they can be also contributing to climate and sustainability.
It's time for a short break, but the CEO Roundtable here at the Schneider Electric Innovation Summit 2021 continues on the other side. We'll be right back. While running a highly responsive and intelligent medical facility is, of course, of critical value, so is conservation of energy, and so is prioritizing sustainability in parallel. So how do you go about striking the right balance?
A healthcare delivery system, you have to look at the full chain together. It's not one activity, it's a series of activity which culminates in the ultimate treatment and relief to the patient. So in other words, the centerpiece here is the patient. Now the patient comes to us, how they come, with what convenience they are coming there, how we can actually facilitate their entry into the hospital, so that we are now saying everything must be streamlined from a patient's point of view. Everything should move smoothly towards where they have to go. So as soon as they're already given a pre-brief, they are already met with as they come in, they're already told exactly and ushered to the spots that they have to go. There is a lot of demand. People come in, so we try to keep them so that no place gets crowded so much. The doctors are facilitated by technology, by digital record, all that stuff, because the doctor can see on the screen all the reports, all the blood tests done, X-rays done, everything. So it actually streamlines the point of care process. That means the whole record comes to the point of care so that there is no inefficiencies or there are nothing missed. Then the patient's journey from there after the consultation may require certain tests, certain diagnostic tests, which may be more complicated. So how do you streamline the journey to the next spot, to the next spot, to the next spot, and then bring it together again so that the absolute treatment can be made out. So these are all things that were always being looked at. But now with the pandemic, what is done is that everything has become like a sharpened process. The processes have had to be more efficient, more effective, and like you said, try to save as much energy as possible.
Naveen, electric vehicles are widely considered to be the building blocks of the future. So curious to understand what sort of adoption rates and uptake have you experienced within not just the consumers, but the business community as well? And how have you navigated any challenges you may have faced in this arena?
I think the disruption or the adoption of electric vehicles going forward is going to be much faster than what anybody is expecting. We are going to follow a very, very rapid route towards electrification. And it's already begun to happen. We are already seeing that demand coming in. We are already seeing those numbers jumping up month on month. It's not even year on year, it's month on month. We are seeing a huge amount of demand coming in. I think businesses are going to be far more responsible than they have been in the past. They are going to follow this. They are going to become far greener than they have. They are already doing that. They are already following the SDG and ESG norms to a great deal. consumers are adopting electric in a very significant manner. So we have a very large repeat sale which is happening. So people who've already bought electric are willing to buying it for their family, friends, etc., and are recommending it. On top of all of this, they are willing to make that change. They're willing to adopt the new technologies. What happens in the process is that they're also saving money. Once they've bought a vehicle, for whatever reason that they've bought an electric vehicle, post that sale, they're delighted to have bought it because of the experiences. And on top of it, that their mantra is that, we are leaving the world a better place for our children. So that's a great deal. So I think it's going to be a very, very different market in the next couple of years. Both individuals, B2B companies, corporates, everybody is going to adopt electric in a much more significant manner than has ever been done in the past.
Aras, give us a better sense of how sustainability is practiced at Amul and how has this practice evolved?
Pujari, sustainability is such a word. It is like, the old story of an elephant and 6 blind people touching. So sustainability is the word which is used and basically what you say is interpreted by different people matching their needs or their perception. I mean, if I tell you that, you see, in any sustainable development, there are 3 pillars. One is the society, which looks after health chahiye, work for chahiye. Other is the economy. Economy needs to grow, jobs create kare, and also it should give inclusive growth. And third is definitely environment, where we want climate, water, natural resources to be taken care of for our future generation. Now come to sustainable development for food. And food supply chain starts with the food grower or the farmers, ends with the consumer, in between the various people. Now there are 5 pillars in sustainable development for the food. The first pillar is basically the grower, who is growing the food. In case of milk, it is a milk producer. In India, there are around 100 million milk producers. Second is the industry. You see, first the food grower and milk producer, what he's looking is, he's looking mainly livelihood for 100 million people in India. Then industry, what is industry looking? Industry is looking for the profits. Industry is looking for the growth so that they can future expand. And then countries, the policy makers, the political leadership, what they look for the food security, they look for nutritional security and employment, and also in India, inclusive growth. Then comes the environment. What environment is looking? Environment protection and lesser methane, so that country or earth is protected for the future generation. And among all these 4, top is customer, because customer is giving money, because he is spending. What he is looking? He is looking affordable nutrition, and definitely in food is the taste. So any sustainable development has to meet all the requirement or interpretation of all these 5 pillars as far as food chain is concerned.
So my next question is directed to both Anil and Naveen. And Anil, I'll start with you. For our country to become an Atmanirbhar Bharat, we will need to embrace digitization and sustainability at our nation's core. So how do you anticipate this transition and this transformation evolving over time?
Yeah, I think this is very, very important, especially this have accelerated in the recent times with the challenges faced not only in India, but worldwide. Now, Indian industries are, as of now, facing a very important challenge, which we have to overcome together. One, that, how with the existing projects, how we can improve the energy utilization and how we can really make those operations efficient. And since the infrastructure and the industry which we are building, which is for the next century of 21st, and we being a country where all that has to be built, keeping in view the vision set for our 5 billion economy which we want to achieve, and the India to play global role in manufacturing with India for India and India for globe. And those are some of the fundamental, directions for Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Naveen, I'd love your take.
You're right. India is a unique market. India's got a very good blend of our traditions and history and the modernization that we've got. So what is going to happen is that the way that we see it, for example, we've got our dealer network, which is there for the touch and feel that we're establishing for our customers. Yet at the same time, we're using social media and digital media to reach out to the customers and divert them to our dealers or sell them online, but have the dealers back them up in terms of the sales and service, etc. So I think what is going to work very, very well going forward also is a hybrid model. It's going to be neither this side, neither that side. It's going to be a hybrid model where you have the physical touch and feel of the vehicles, you have a touch and feel of the dealer network, the service network, etc. Yet you're using the online platforms and online technologies to actually access the information or be able to place orders and do all of those things. So I think going forward, it's going to be a blend of the two. We are going to use technology the way that we have in the last year and a half. We see, we've used these online communication platforms, whether it's Zooms or Team or whatever be the case. We've used these platforms really effectively in reaching out to not just customers, but having our meetings with people across the world, thereby saving us time in traveling, etc. But at the same time, what is also going to be important is that personal, that human interface.
And by way of closing comments, and now I pose this question to our entire panel. If you had to describe your or your company's sustainability pledge in a single sentence, what would that be?
Basically, today, we are not only living in isolation and just doing our work. There is a whole ecosystem which is global. And the problems today are that are we able to sustain this world and then our microcosm ourselves by participating in responsible behavior. That behavior has to change because of the fact that we were blindly moving towards more consumption, more pollution, more caring, not caring, just thinking of yourself. But I think now the time has come to think globally and think of your responsibilities in that global system. So if each one of us thinks that way, that we have to sustain this world and the energy and preserve it for future generations, we must be absolutely savvy in our participation in the sustainability process.
RS, what are your thoughts?
Sustainability for everybody who reside on this earth.
Naveen, would love your take.
So our products are already sustainable. So the products that we manufacture are completely sustainable. They're zero emission. The offices, the plants that we operate from are also green buildings that we are doing. And as I said, from our perspective, we are, whether I look at it from a personal, corporate, or from our supply chain and dealers, we are going to continue pushing this message of sustainability through. That's the ethos of the company. That's what we're going to build on.
And Anil, I'll give you the last word.
Schneider Electric one sentence pledge is to empower all to make the most of their energy and resources, bringing progress and sustainability for all. And that is what we call is life is on, not today, but in future in a sustainable way and with digital connected world.
With that, our exclusive CEO Roundtable here at the Schneider Electric Innovation Forum 2021 comes to a close. We trust that you found the insights shared of value. Thanks for watching.